Good afternoon, this is the middle third. We're back again, my partner in crime.
It's a good afternoon, not a good evening.
Oh, mate, it is a bit strange for us. A bit strange.
Still daylight. No, I'm off to a little trip to the Echo, have a look at some fireworks and the likes tonight. So we get out early.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice, eh? Rekindling your childhood.
Shut up, idiot.
You'll probably come back with the beautiful Echo flu that we all get this time of year. So it's at this moment I'm quite happy to be 20 kilometres away from you. Very, very happy indeed. But the football gods, they continue to deliver.
Oh, they do. They do indeed.
Had some great footy, some controversy over the weekend.
There was.
Signing news, we've got announcements, we've got everything going on. But before we get that, as always, mate, everything that happened over the weekend, what caught your eye?
You know what? What caught my eye? Well, it wasn't a complete capitulation of my team. That wasn't really ideal. Mate, probably I had one thing I was gonna say, but what I saw today was actually a different code. It was, but it would be definitely my sporting highlight of the last 7 days was seeing Ma Nonu do a haka against the All Blacks. That was pretty good. That was quite incredible, actually.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Okay, I'll take that. For me, look, what I actually liked seeing was young Jackson Purdue finally getting a bit of open space. Probably the first time since I think he played Brisbane previously, because he hasn't had much open space. And since Todd Payton's genius idea to move him into less space, anyway, he certainly scored a fantastic individual try. So that certainly caught my eye over the weekend. And to go with that, also the absolute and utter capitulation of Brisbane. 24 blot up to losing the game. I don't know how that even works.
Mate, you have to nearly say the Dragons beat the Sharks is bigger.
I thought the Sharks had been up for a long time. There were those, and the Dragons have been playing pretty well. So I thought they were a sneaky chance, but in the end, the Sharks were terrible.
Warriors smashing the Panthers.
So lots and lots happening. So let's touch on some of the news that's floating around. So it came out Monday or Tuesday. It's getting hard to work it all out now. But Brian To'o, it's official, has signed with his good mate Jerome Luai up there at the Chiefs. So I don't know, is this the first domino to fall for Penrith? Now they've got a lot of players that managed to keep a core of players, very good players together at the foot of the mountains, and now another one has gone.
Mate, I think it is. It's not quite the Galacticos or whatever they call it of Real Madrid of getting all the star players to go to one place, but for a first year club to get so far what they've got is quite extraordinary.
But we know why. Because he signs for 700,000, 600, 800,000, 700,000. It gets, as I say, that's equivalent to getting essentially double that. Because no tax. Essentially, he's signing for 1.3. A winger signing for 1.3 because that's amazing. Like, I really seriously don't know how Peter V'landys at the moment is managing to sleep at night, knowing that he is totally stuffed up the Bears over there in WA and is quite happy watching what's going on up there in Papua New Guinea, you know. And now it's only now that the dopey CEOs have now got a problem with it. They knew about it all the time. They've suddenly now got a problem with it.
Yeah, mate, the thing is they signed off on it, which is the stupid thing. They signed it off to be all apples and oranges, but it's actually it's going to come back to bite them because their marquee players are all basically hot property.
Oh, but the Bears, they wanted to give the Bears this little tiny morsel that was way too late, and the club CEOs are up in arms about it. Like, seriously, they are dead set stupid, absolutely stupid. So, now we're going to, it's got, look, and of course, we watched Redcliffe they couldn't get the marquee player. They pulled a reasonable side together, but they started with a reasonable season, which was a bit of an attraction to come. No one knows what the Bears is, so if they don't have a reasonable season they
won't win a game, mate. I'm serious. I'm adamant they won't win a game, but some people think they'll trip over a win. But
no one's going to go there. Like I just think it's deplorable. And for Peter V'landys and now that Abdo's got, like, to sit there and try and defend it, and the CEOs to try and defend it, because now you've got the Dolphins saying, well, hang on, we came in 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, 3 years ago, we didn't get any concessions, so you know what? No concessions for them. Like, seriously, it just beggars belief. It does. So well done to the Chiefs. Certainly playing within whatever rules the NRL decides to change and move it, or Peter V'landys just to go with at the time. But I don't know what's going to happen across there at in Perth. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. Talk is now that they're now chasing Hudson Young. Is going. I'll be very surprised if they can leave him away from Ricky Stewart. So they're pretty tight down there in the nation's capital.
I reckon they'll get Munster. I reckon he'll go because that'll be. I reckon his last.
I don't know if he will, because
I reckon he will. I reckon Bellamy's last year will be next year.
Well, it is. He said that. He said this is going to be his last year.
And I reckon that'll be him and Munster will go off in the sunset together from Melbourne.
So you reckon Munster's got to go to the Chiefs in 28? But so he's going to play 6.
Yeah, and Luai will be 7.
Where is the number 1 signing? And probably been signed as the captain, by the way. Why does Luai fit in all that? Because he's not a 7. He's proven that at his time.
No, we know he's not a 7, but they'll pick him there. They'll pick him as 2. They'll just pick 2 players in the halves to do what they got to do.
I'm not as convinced about Munster just at the moment. I'm not quite as convinced. Maybe. Yeah, certainly maybe. Yeah, but that doesn't make any sort of sense to me whatsoever in relation to that one. So, mate, lots, as I say, the news all about the Chiefs and the Dolphins, but also news broke, and we're going to talk more about this at the soapbox, but news did break about, they're going to look at first there are going to be some rules. They look at that scorer's kick during the last couple of rounds of the season, so some inconsequential games. I'm quite happy to look at it. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't really have an opinion on that. Either or, if that's your biggest gripe in rugby league, then I tell you, going all right. If he's going to score his kick or not. So
I don't like it. That's, to me, that's certainly against the substance, the wholesomeness of the game, or the substance of the game, or the essence of the game.
There's a lot of other changes they've made, mate. So, you know, at the moment, they're probably trying to find subtle ways to maybe lessen up the benefits of momentum, because the referees can't get it. They cannot get it right with what is a 6 to go. It should just be what a penalty is, but they're not. It's about 50% of a penalty. They're getting a 6 to go, but the changes they have with momentum in a game is just, and your team was a prime example of it. A prime example of it on the weekend. So it just, you have momentum and it's away you go. South Sydney as well, another side, dominating. And suddenly you make one mistake and suddenly you lose momentum and you can't get it back. Now the referee suddenly decides you hold down a third of a second too long and he gives you 6 again. 6 again, next thing they're up and they're marched up the field. And they're hammering your line. So, I don't know. As I say, I don't know. But also they're talking about bringing back lots of games making it a grand final week. Lots of games over grand final weekend. Everything from a 3rd and 4th playoff, which has got no chance, while my backside points to the ground, of getting off the ground. There's not a way the player's going to agree to yet another game when the season's already long, and the NRL has admitted the season's long. So what are we going to do? Oh, let's make our sides play another game.
I don't like that idea.
Oh, it's stupidity, absolute stupidity. But we'll talk more about some of the options. I know you had some thinking about some of that, so we'll have a little bit of a chat in and around that. Look, there is plenty happening. More signing news. Sammy Walker has knocked back a Roosters. Now, I've heard from 3 different news sources of 3 different deals, so I've got no idea. A 3 or 4 and a 5 year he's knocked back, so I don't know which one it is. All of them are worth well over $1 million a year. Mate, realistically, is this just another manager pumping up the tyres, trying to get a few more dollars? Is he any...
I was thinking the exact same thing. But I'm like, 1.2 million, he's supposedly knocked back. I'm like, you're going to try and pump him up, but I don't see there's a lot of room for more pumping. As I said, he hasn't won anything as of yet, so he doesn't warrant obviously the big deal. So I reckon there's something there that he's not overly fussed about. I don't know if the depth coming through. Some of the age of some of the players. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's strange. 1.2 is a lot of loose change in anybody's language. I don't know. Well, maybe he's your chance to go on the Chiefs.
No, definitely not. No, that's. I don't think so. I think he's. That doesn't suit. I personally doesn't. I don't see it as suiting him. Because Jerome would hate having someone there of someone who could take the limelight away from him. In my eyes.
You're right there. We all know Jerome's best mate is Jerome, so there's no issues in and around that. But there's some real interesting, and he's not the only player to knock back a deal. Our mate Mike Preston, aka Jacob Preston of the Bulldogs, has knocked back a deal from them. So he's now wanting to test himself on the open market. So, as I say, I actually don't mind players wanting to test. I don't have too many issues. Word coming out is they have lowballed him, thinking he was a done deal, and haven't paid him what it's worth. This is a former, I think is it a Peter Moore Player of the Year on his first year. Would have played Origin this year, wasn't for a broken arm. He's a very, very, very good. He's in the top probably half dozen back rowers running around in the comp. So very, very good at what he does. So certainly should have been paid well. And if he does decide to move on, I'm sure either Parramatta or the West Tigers will have a chop at him. That tends to be maybe even the Roosters. Why not? Hey, they have a go at everybody else apparently.
You're right there. You're not off the mark there, mate.
You think he goes anywhere, or is he again? Are we just?
I reckon he's a chance of going somewhere. Yeah. Because the splittering and spluttering of that attack, mate, they've signed no one who's going to make him look good outside him. I think him and Galvin, please, no. I think he's certainly on the open market.
Okay. I thought him and Galvin, I know they were forming quite the combination earlier in the year until they switched sides, and then he broke his arm. So that was certainly the end of that. So anyway. Well, that's just a bit of a snack around what is happening in the NRL world. So, mate, let's go back. Let's have a drink. Let's lubricate the tonsils. We're going to come back and we're going to do the wash up of all the action of round 23. We're near the pointy end. This is the third. We're back right after this one. Brought to you by Riverside. This is the middle third. We're back. It's the wash up. That's right. All the action of round 23 of the NRL. As we just said, we are near the pointy end of the year. Finals are so close, you can smell them, you can smell it. But anyway, before we get there, we did have some footy on the weekend. She all kicked off Thursday night, and it was the resurgent Titans against the abominable Cowboys. Oh, horrible. And in the end, who knows it? The Cowboys weren't so abominable, and the Titans were bloody terrible.
Yeah, the same thing as the Titans. It's just that week in, week out, obviously they won 2 on the trot. And then bang, the back-to-back consistency. And obviously missing young Harrison. I think after he played its role, he was just starting obviously really find a groove. He's gonna be the tone got. To be fair, I think the game, the whole complex of the game changed due to Big Tom Lolo's smash over for a try. I think if he doesn't score that try, the game is a completely different game. I think he really set the tone. For the game.
When he's been on for the Cowboys this year, they've invariably won every single game and look much, much better when he's going for it. Look, I think Josh Hannay erred in the start. I don't understand the reasoning in putting AJ Brimson in the halves and Lachlan Ilias not even seeing any game time whatsoever. I don't understand the logic.
And benching the young hooker, who's been one of their best.
I don't really know what's going on there. I don't know. Look, the Cowboys by no means weren't perfect. In fact, they're pretty ordinary at times. Their discipline continues to let them down, and the coach continues to give them a free pass over it. And half the reason they're for it against is how it is because of those things. But certainly, I did see one of the better tries. I would think it was the best try of the weekend. Was Jackson Purdue's 60-metre effort. He did scrutiny out of dummy half. Just goes to show, give him just a little bit of space, and he will make you absolutely pay with an absolute slashing try. So it reminded me of myself in my younger days. He did. So well done, Jackson Purdue, but you're still not a 6, brother. You're still not a 6.
Or a 7.
Still not a 6. Mate, Friday night, but the game of the round, the one they were all looking forward to, the Warriors and the Panthers. Mate, this was one-way traffic. 28-12 to the Warriors.
Mate, they bashed them. They really did. They just single-handedly, they bashed them. Then
And the news out of the game
and they bashed them again. And then they got up again and bashed them again. James Fisher-Harris was phenomenal.
Like Talmalolo is for the Cowboys, he's certainly the barometer for the Warriors. But the big news, obviously, is the captain is going with a pec injury. So I don't. The mixed reports are he may get back. They're going to try and rehab it. I tell you what, it's a horrible injury to try to rehab and come back maybe in a prelim final of a game that's going to be worth it if they get that far. Going to be worth it. I don't know.
And Luke Metcalf was made his first game in a few months, and he was first rate.
Yeah, he was first rate. Thierry Martin on the back of that apparently could miss 3 or 4 weeks, so he's going to get an extended run now in the side. I feel sorry for Tamari Martin. He seems to get to this point so often, and he gets an injury. The poor bugger. So he was going all right, and he certainly should have come. I don't care. And they're all telling me after the game, Luke Metcalf has to start. I said, have you watched the Warriors with Tamari Martin, apart from a couple of occasions, since Tanner Boyd did his knee, back in round 6 or whatever it was? They've been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So why wouldn't Tamari Martin come straight back into the side? He was going great guns. So, we've a long way to see. He's got about a month or thereabouts to prove himself, Lukey Metcalf. So, because as I say, his form this year, since in a few games he played, was pretty poor, and some of his attitude. I know some of his teammates might have been questioning some stuff there. So, but well done to the Warriors. They are the real deal, and anyone that says to me they can't win the comp, they've got dead set rocks in their head because they're good.
Great.
Whether they're at home or whether they're away, they are very, very good. The other game, the Roosters and the Doggies, 20 points to 18. Another game of momentum. We've been talking about this a lot.
Oh, they scored a lucky try for kick. The Roosters to get themselves back in the game. They were down with 15 to go. They were down by 8 points. I think it was.
Yeah, 12. They didn't come out after half. The Dogs got a bit of luck.
And it's the reason they can't win the comp. In my eyes, I think they've got the quality of a side to win the comp. Definitely, 100% on paper they do. But the way they actually play is their attack suddenly just becomes clunky. There are too many Chiefs between Tedesco and DCE, and then you've got Walker and Robson.
Tedesco didn't play, so he didn't play.
Too many Chiefs.
He's back this week, so he is back. Look, I don't know. I don't think they can win the comp either. But I thought they were going to be a bit better than that against the Bulldogs, and they looked like the first half they were going to be, and they didn't come out. Certainly didn't come out that second half. But in the end, they were just too good. And won by 2 points. Following on Saturday night, Storm and the Sea Eagles. Fosball's dead. It's buried at 42 points to 20. Someone's obviously hasn't told the Storm they can't make the finals now because that was a pretty good performance.
Some players play really, really well there, and just that. As I said, they got a bit of luck that old Fosball, but they got injuries. The injuries now and depth cannot patch it up now. It is.
Yeah, so they're done. They're finished. Can't make the 8.
Mate, they're gone.
Turbo's about to be relaunched. Turbo 8.0 or something. A new version of him, apparently.
No, he's done 9 hamstrings. This is number... Oh, no, he's done 9 hamstrings. Or he's done his pec or his shoulder. This is about Turbo 12, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's... I don't think they can... I didn't think at the start of the year they were going to make the 8 anyway. Then they went on that great run where they won... Was it 7 straight or 6 straight after losing their first 3?
Yeah, but that was a side with a younger Cherry Evans and a more healthy, a few more. But no, they're done, mate. They're absolutely done.
They are cooked, and I agree. Then we got the Battle of Brisbane, mate. What happened here?
Mate, yeah, jumped out 24-0, which was good. Billy Walters.
He looked sharp, Billy did.
He looked excellent, really, really good, mate. Yeah, then I wouldn't even call it momentum, mate. They switched off. It wasn't a shift in ball. It was a couple of very soft defensive lapses, and then it was over. And then they couldn't get it back. So But to be fair, I think there was still opportunity to win the game. I said I still think there was an
There was a
incident
couple of, very soft
with,
tries. Very soft
with
tries.
the I think it should have been a sin bin and an 8-point try. So which I think
Which sin bin 8-point try?
was that
Which was the sin bin and the 8-point try?
on the right hand side.
Donahue?
Yeah.
No, I don't know about that.
No, but mate, they didn't deserve. They said obviously the game was at 24-0. Any team should win that. So whether might forget the 8-point try and forget all that sort of stuff. It was a really disappointing second half to watch. And mate, it's just a point of the season. It's now the second second worst record in Broncos history.
You've
And I just don't know.
to get it sorted pretty quickly because at the moment you're second last, and the Dragons have just won their game. So they've now won 3 games for the year now. That they're only 2 wins behind you. So I tell you what, you wouldn't want to lose too many more because we all know the Brisbane fans do not like getting wooden spoons. The hullabaloo after the last one they got was absolutely hilarious from an outside looking in. They certainly don't like it. The Rabbits and the Eels, 28-24. Momentum again was absolutely all the Rabbits in the first half. I'd essentially ready to switch off. That's done. She's cooked this game. The Eels just weren't even in the same ballpark. And the second half, the Rabbits made just a couple of mistakes, some errors, didn't complete. They just invited them back into the game, and eventually they were good enough to take it, just not take it all the way. Does this say more about Souths or more about the Eels?
I'll say South in my humble opinion.
Yeah, South are still they're like there's 2 or 3 sides in that top 8. They wouldn't want to lose a couple of games because they're going to be they're going to be out the back door very, very quickly if they lose any game. So they certainly couldn't afford to lose that one if you're a Bunny supporter. The Raiders and the Knights. Oh, God. Again, what the bloody hell was I watching with this one? Eels 20. So what I'm saying, Raiders 24. The Knights 30. The big headline out of this is Corey Horsburgh. Corey Horsburgh's slap across the face. I didn't think it was even worth a penalty. To be fair, I didn't even think it was worth a penalty. But Corey Horsburgh continues to do dopey things on the field. So I don't know. I just don't understand. But I thought Ricky Stewart's hanging him out to dry was absolutely deplorable from a coaching perspective. Absolutely criticise him for what he did. He deserved it. But he has absolutely hung him out to dry.
Yeah, I agree, Corey. It was all over. Definitely his fault. Definitely.
It wasn't his fault they lost the game. That's Ricky should be able to go slap himself in the face. Joe Tarpany, his captain, gave away another dopey penalty. That's his captain. Stupid penalty.
So that's what I was going to say. He gave away the penalty that led to them getting in front.
Yeah.
But what he did, but the calling out is that's very, very as true as it may be. It was so unprofessional. It wasn't funny.
Oh, but this is the same coach that went out and had a blatant attack on another team's player. So look, he's got form for this. I think it's all at the end of the day, whether it's Ricky and he's trying to divert attention away from the fact that his minor premiers from last year are now going out the back door at a rapid rate of knots. So I think it was a game there that in the end of the day I thought the Raiders probably should have won at the end of the day. But again, like they have this year on more than one occasion, back to the old Raiders that we know, they found ways to lose them. And she all wrapped up on Sunday. It's the Dragons. Well, what do you know? 24-16, their biggest win of the year. Mate, what do you say? The Sharkies were horrible. The
Sharkies jumped out with a quick try to Katoa. And then
Nico missed it. So the record was done. That was out.
And then the forward pack of the Dragons got rolling, and mate, it was curtains, mate. Every time the Sharks sort of made a bit of momentum, they're making dumb errors. For Neil Blake, his goes down as the worst current haircut in the NRL. It was shocking.
Oh, isn't it terrible? That's terrible.
That's a Mohicans job. That
someone go buy him a mirror, please. Buy him a mirror and let him have a look, because that thing is absolutely terrible. Coming from somebody that I would love to have a full head of hair that he has access to. I'd love to have that. Love it. You would certainly love it. Have a look at you, okay? You are probably the most follically challenged person, north of the Brisbane River. You are. You'd absolutely love to have it. And here he is doing that to it. Oh, my God. Talk about absolutely dopey. Look, I don't know. Look, the Dragons have improved. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely certainty the Sharks took them lightly. Absolute certainties. They didn't turn up to play. And in the end, the Dragons, wasn't a lucky win. It wasn't a fluky win. They thoroughly deserved to win.
Yeah, mate, they did. It was really... They got the job done, and how it's been going is like they've played some good games and haven't quite got the rub of the green and all the ounce of luck. And mate, they got it. And they
2 or 3 more. The Dragons, they haven't been bad at all at some point. They've certainly been bad. It took them a while, but certainly been better under Dean Young than they were under Shane Flanagan's 3 years that he spent there at the Dragons. Well, mate, that's how we saw things. Let us know what you thought. We're going to come back after the wash up. Yeah, the soapboxes are out. We're dusting them off right now, and we're going to talk about grand final week. Football celebration. This middle third, we're back right after this. This middle third, we're back. The soapboxes are out. The armchair experts are in fine form as we're going to talk a little bit about grand final week. Peter V'landys, he's talked about lots of stuff this week. Everything from global round in 2028. We're going to play in 4 countries simultaneously, or something along those lines. So they're going to add Japan, maybe England, potentially the Middle East, add that to Vegas for 0 round. So interesting. But what he also has floated along the way is a football celebration on grand final week, with lots of ideas certainly being spoken about. But the first one they floated, and I think this has not got a snowball's chance in hell of getting up, is, hey, let's have 3rd and 4th playoff on grand final week.
mate, I agree. Joke.
Like, why?
Absolute G up.
Like, why? I don't understand why you would even float that. I don't understand that in any way, shape, or form. Why you would do that? It's just in our setting. It's like after speaking about for I don't know how long. Oh, we know the schedule. The players they're on the edge now. They're playing too much football now. They keep telling us all that. He's told us that, and suddenly let's add another meaningless game to the list. Yeah. Absolutely.
The only way I think that gets any legs is if there's a big lot of whippy that gets thrown at it.
I think does anybody care? Like, when was the last player for the World Cup? Do you remember? Do you remember that? No? No idea. No. Yeah, no idea. He won 3rd or 4th. Half time you don't even remember who came second. You don't remember that. You know? The team that got beat, they remember it. But no one else wants to come second. I think it's absolutely stupid. Another one that's been raised is an all-star. So there's a couple of options. An all-stars game. So
I love that.
Huh?
I'm a big fan of the all-stars game.
Okay, so are we talking about all-stars in like every all-stars, or are we talking about all-stars as in the Indigenous versus Maori all-stars? Because they're 2 types.
I think this is where there should only be one all-stars game. In my opinion, whether they alternate the rotation between NRL All-Stars, Maori All-Stars, Indigenous All-Stars, or they might have the Pacific All-Stars. I don't know. Or do they put a Queensland Cup All-Stars or something like that? I think, mate, I like the option. I think there's some merit there.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm not a fan of the Indigenous All-Stars and the Maori All-Stars game. I don't like it. I never have really liked it. I like the original concept. That's just what I liked with that. So, but whether you play it then, I think they're going to get the same problem they've always got. Is that players are going to be injured, players are going to be pulled off, players have to go away for surgery. All these things are going to keep happening no matter when you schedule it.
But the All-Stars could be not necessarily. Obviously, it means All-Stars, but it's the All-Stars of the selection of players.
Yeah.
From clubs. And I think if clubs get their yada yada yada, their quota or whatever, I think, mate,
how does team selection work now? Is Joe Public still picking it? Was Joe Public picking it from a pool of players? I don't even know how it works anymore, the All-Stars. So, I don't they vote for
no.
the fans.
The coach picks the players, I think.
Like, well, the concept, look, would be interesting is the coach picks the captain gets picked, and the rest, the fans pick. I would love to see that. The fans pick a side. That could be.
Well, the first 9 players get picked by something, and then I don't know. Yeah, well, I think it's definitely it'll add more value to people paying stupid amount of money for at the moment. So far, they deliver second-rate music all the time.
Yeah,
and entertainment.
Look, the grand final. They already have the battle of the state cups. They have that. They play that game as well. So I don't know. I don't understand why they need to play more games. I personally think more games will just take away from what that game is in the day, which is the grand final. I'm certainly. I don't know if I'm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not understanding the logic.
I think if getting played through the season is a better. I would rather have it in the middle of the State of Origin series, probably, or something. Because at the start of the year, like the game is just there's intensity and all this sort of jazz, but players aren't match fit. There's injuries, and other trial teams are affected.
Absolutely. So, absolutely. It's hard. It's hard to manage. Some players love it. All right, there are some players that are all for it.
I love the concept. I'm a big fan of the concept.
And other players don't give two hoots in hell about it. So I think that's the first part you've got to sort out. You've got to get the players on board with it. That's what you first got to do. I'd always like to see in that State of Origin block when we're playing Wednesday Origin. I think there's a reason we can have a bye on the weekend, no football, and they play games like that game as an example. They play the under-19s Origin as an example on that one. So they get some clear air in some of those games. Potentially you could play some of the Pacific games then on that game.
There's definitely grounds for something and a way to do it. I think
there's no reason why they cannot straight away put a game together, which is the North and South Island of New Zealand. It's easy. Could be done tomorrow. Could be their version of State of Origin. And they could play that on the weekend. Kiwis would love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And that could be done tomorrow. Quite easy to work out where the players come from and wacko. And watch them argue about eligibility. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So, and I'd be all for that over that State of Origin period where rather than make players back up and all this extra wear and tear in and around Origin, that continues to haunt everyone. And they've committed this new deal. They've committed to, remember, it's been committed to, they've got to play Wednesday Origin. It doesn't shift. It does not move over this deal. So they've got to do something. They've got to do something with it. So I don't know what the answer with that is. So the grand final week, they're talking about wild card playoffs and
the playoffs and all that sort of. I'm against all that sort of garbage. I just think something else on the week I got no issue with.
Yeah.
I would personally I just want to shift it from the start of the year. I just think there's more merit in having it somewhere else. But
right, okay, all right. Well, mate, let's talk about one other thing that Peter Vlannies was floated during the week. We all know that there's a big chunk, it's 20 or 30 million a year, that is only there if there is a 20th team by 2030. Yeah. So we look absolutely certainty now that in 2029 we're going to have another team.
Yeah,
got to come in.
Squads are going to be ordinary. I tell you, what are they going to do? Special dispensations for them too?
Well, look, that's in New Zealand. Why don't the Kiwis do it? Sure, the Warriors won't like it, but it's been said now. The precedent's there. Why wouldn't you do it? The CEOs do not have a comeback for it. They don't have a comeback because they've already signed off on it once. So, when the Chiefs potentially put together this awesome side, and let's just keep things in mind with that, it's only going to be their top 15 or 16 players are going to be good, because after that, the really good players, they're going to want to play football, right? They're going to want to play. They're not going to want to play football if someone's injured, all right, or play a 10-minute cameo. So It's only that squad. And we're still waiting on a couple of Papua New Guineans to be announced on their signings. So it would probably help them no end to announce a couple of, apart from Alex Johnson, a couple of Papua New Guineans in the side. Seriously, you want to be you're the representation of Papua New Guinea, so you'd think a couple of them would be at least announced. But Michael Chamis is too busy looking at himself in the mirror, pumping up.
He does like the sound of his own voice, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely loves it. Maybe he should take his mirror, send it to Adam Fanua-Blake, so he can check out that ugly thing on top of his head. Anyway, that's what we think. Let us know what you think. This is Middle Third. We're going to come back. We're going to preview all the action of round 24 of the NRL. We're back right after this. This is the Middle Third. We're back, proving all the action of round 24 of the NRL. So far, in only 45 short minutes, we have solved all the rugby league problems of the world. How good is that? And now, we're even going to tell you who's going to win on the weekend. Does it get any better? Seriously. Does it get any better than this?
Yeah, if your team wins the game.
It kicks off. It's the Panthers and the Roosters. The Roosters have beaten Penrith once in the last 8 years, I think it is, off the top of my head. They have got a horrible rooster in the Roosters. It's one of the reasons why I think they cannot win the comp. But for the Roosters, Jack Cogger has been named to return after missing out last weekend's loss. Jack Cole's back to the bench. Lindsay Smith moved to lock to replace Isaiah Yeo, who's out with that pec injury. Liam Henry will start at prop. Dylan Edwards is a chance of playing. Maybe. For the Roosters, Tedesco returns. Cater Ramsey's back to the bench. Lenu's going to start. Nat Butcher's on the bench. And Rex Brathwaite is out of the side. Mate, this is a bit of a toughie. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm leaning the way of the Roosters. I think, as I said, the loss of Yo and Dylan Edwards, as I said, they're the two biggest keys in the cog than Cleary. I think Dylan Edwards in particular as well as Yo, but I'm going to have the Roosters by 8.
Look, I agree. I agree with Isaiah. I always think he's a very big loss to the side. But I'm going to go with Penrith, I think. I'm going to go with Penrith. Especially because at the moment, Dylan Edwards has not been ruled out. He's a chance of playing. If
the Roosters can't win this game, which I don't think that, as I said, they may not. This is their line in the sand. If they can't roll this side now with no Yo, potentially no Edwards, mate, they may as well let Sam Walker go sign somewhere else.
I reckon the winner of this game will take the minor premiership. So certainly they're both level now on points. It's only Penrith's huge for and against, nearly plus 300. That's running around. So So I just think this is the one for the minor premiership. The Roosters, I think, apart from the debacle game against the Cowboys, have looked pretty scrappy. So they certainly can. There's winning ugly and there's winning ugly. So maybe we should rename that and call it winning Roosters. Maybe, I don't know, something like that. Friday night. Speaking of winning ugly, Manly would take a win any way they get it when they come up against the Finns. Manly put a cricket score on the Dolphins back in about round 4, I think it was, off the top of my head.
Yeah,
so Blake Wilson drops out of the side. Clayton Fa'alalo is back. Lehigh Hopewadi goes to the wing. Tommy is not back yet, but he's close. Daniel Pasek is probably out for the rest of the year, but may come back for the last round. Nathan Brown is almost ready. He's got to start at prop. Hugo Hart is a man on the bench. For the Finns, Kurt O'Donoghue set to miss a couple of weeks with injury. Dolphins will bring Ray Stone back onto the bench. Jake Averillo also places Brian Punu in an otherwise unchanged side from a side that put the second half cleaners through Brisbane.
Clayton Fa'alalo is definitely probably their form back for the year. Has been, in my thoughts. Having him back's a big in, but I think it's the Dolphins. And the Dolphins are going to have a little bit of payback.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, I think the Dolphins will win and win pretty well in that one, and just put a lot more pressure on young Kieran Foran, who certainly the wrinkles are growing by the day now. It's not quite as easy as those first 5 or 6 weeks were. It's the Bulldogs and the Bunnies. Interesting game, this one.
Tricky game.
I think the Bulldogs lose this one. They are gone, and the Bunnies put themselves in a world of hurt if they lose it. Alex Army-Jones replaces Cecilia Tupanu, who's done another hamstring. I don't think he'll play again this year. Jai Gray goes back to the bench. Campbell Grant comes back onto the wing. Jai Gray was outstanding. I don't know what Jai Gray's done wrong. He was outstanding.
I agree.
I
Agree.
don't know what is going on there.
I got mates who are Bunny supporters, and they're as baffled as we are.
Everybody's perplexed. So Ashton Ward's season's over after a hamstring injury kicking the ball. Jaden Sullivan is starts. Jamie Humphries is out injured. Thomas Fletcher, Marlo Graham-Talfa is missing. Aitken, Mamazoulos, Ed Cozzi are the new names on the bench. Oh, I don't know.
I'm leaning the Dragons, but I may swing back to the Rabbits.
The Rabbits.
Sorry, I'm leaning towards the Doggies, but I may swing back to the Rabbits. Come close to kick-off. Really, it's probably the second of the Who Cares Cup games of the weekend.
Yeah, look, I'm probably leaning slightly towards the Bulldogs as well, just slightly. On the fence there a little bit. I'll say the Doggies for now. I reserve the right to change my mind though. Once I sleep on it. Here we are. Ocean Protect Stadium. Sharky and the Raiders. Both
Jaws is coming back here.
No surprises here that for the Sharks, KL Hero returns for the injured Jesse Ramian, and word is he may not play again this year with the injured pec, so could have played his last game. Marwin Narodi hangs on to the other centre spot. Adam Fanua-Blake is out suspended, hopefully getting his hair cut. Oregon Kafusi comes on the starting side. Sifa Talakai returns to the bench. For the Raiders, Tamale is back for Simsagi. He's going to be rested. Okay. Corey Horsbush's been dropped. Oh, that's hilarious. After Arian Mariotta starts at prop. Matty Nicholson comes in the second row. Owen Paddy starts at hooker. Tom Sliding back to the bench. Patuki Case and Sebastian Chris are the new names on the bench given the promotions of Tamale and Nicholson. I've got to go the Sharks.
Sharkies for me, mate. Sharkies to win.
Sharkies to win.
Well, to bounce back and win wellish.
Yeah, I think so. Down there at Combank, Saturday, 5:30, we've got the Eels and the Cowboys. For the Eels, Aper Tweedle takes over from the injured Isaiah Yongi, who will not play again this year. Sam Tuivasa is out. Junior Paulo returns to the starting side. Riley Smith is out of the side. Talon De Silva will start at dummy half. Dylan Walker comes onto the bench, and Sean Russell's been named and is a chance to play for the Cows. Reid Marnie is back. Sonny Luke's back to the bench. Matt Lodge is the player to make way. And good news for the Cowboys this week, finally announcing they've re-signed Caden Lars for 1 year. And no doubt that the 1 year deal is all about whether he gets any bloody football time that Todd Payton seems absolutely reluctant to give him, no matter what he does.
Mate, it's Cowboys for me.
Yeah, I've got to go the Cows. I have to go the Cows. Hopefully they'll have a bit of revenge on their mind because they just threw the game away when they played them earlier in the year up there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Mate, it's the Broncos and the Wars, 7:30 Saturday night. Hope you blokes can find your way to the game. Just to one change, All Blacks Tawa replaces Guillermo Shigesaki on the bench. Adam Reynolds is out.
And not injured.
Pates is going to get his shoulder done. He's done for the year. For the Wars, Morgan Gannon is out and Vaimunga is back. Mate, I'm sorry, but it's got to go to the Warriors.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna not lean to the Warriors. I'm gonna tip the Warriors, and if they win, the Bronx win, I'll be excited and happy, and all the mushy things in between. But at the moment, it's especially after if we came off a win on the weekend, I was definitely going to tip the Bronx. But yeah, no, the Warriors for me, mate. Luke Metcalf, We'll see how he goes 2 weeks in a row.
There's a lot of players in that Broncos side that are playing for World Cup spots. They want to start getting their finger out. Because if Kevy doesn't see anything, I don't see how he can pick some of them for that
correct.
side. So here we are, McDonald Jones Stadium. It's the Knights and the Titans. Bradman Best comes back in. I find that hilarious. He's done a calf or a hamstring. He misses 1 week. Like, seriously, he has a litany of soft tissue injuries, this bloke. And they're going to bring him straight back into the side. So,
especially against the side where they should beat. But
they should beat. Instead of Fletcher goes back to the bench. Spanish Crossan returns to the starting side. Harrison Graham back to the bench. Parsamo Sorlo's on the bench. Brody Jones, Winter and Hagan are all out for the Titans. Brimson returns to the centres. Jalen Groot is back to the bench. Ilias has been named to start bench. Menez at 5'8". I don't know what's going on there. Oliver Pascoe's been named to return to the starting side ahead of Sam Berrells. Arama Howe is out. Titans naming Bodie Shipley on the Sharpley, I should say, on the bench.
I think the Titans were just about ready for Mad Monday. Knights for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Knights on that one. I'm going to go the Knights, definitely. Here we go.
Who Cares Cup?
The Who Cares Cup is on Combank Stadium, West Tigers and the Dragons. I tell you what, if you blokes do lose and the Dragons get a win on this one, tell you what, there's going to be some pressure flying around now for the Tigers. Macassini's been dropped out of the side again. He's been...
Look, no, they've actually got a semi-final. That's why he's playing for West Tigers. West.
Of course, he has. Yeah, that's far. Yeah. He's out of the
They've named, mate, their side they're running out for their finals is just about better than their starting side for their great sides.
Eight months chop. It did set 8 months chop. And unfortunately, after that fantastic game he played in the trial against Penrith, he has done nothing but roll down. He's done nothing but roll down the hill since then. He's been average. So I hope it's just adjusting because at the everybody was tipping him to be the Rookie of the Year. So now he's lucky to get in the side. Alex Seyfarth is back on the bench. Polo will start at prop. Suko starts in the second row. Fano goes back to the bench. Bunty Afoa, Taylor come on the bench. Starfatoa and Charlie Murray are out for the Dragons. Setu 2 after scoring the match-clinching try. He's back on the wing. Figo is back to the bench. Damien Cook's going to start. Jacob Little's back on the bench. Toby Couchman returns. And Josh Kerr is out of the side. I'm going Dragons
for me, mate.
I'm tipping the Dragons.
That Dragons pack, I think, will just monster this Tigers side.
The only thing I'm worried about is the letdown. That's the letdown factor. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, but they've been playing reasonably well. They hadn't thrown any stinkers in the last few weeks.
Yeah,
I think
so. All right. All right, okay, mate. That brings us up to our tipping competition, mate. Let's go. Give us the update. What have you got for us?
A couple of jokers have been fired. More jokers are fired by my mate from work, Bobby Rain. He's hit the front at 125. Kiwi Glenn, 124.
Yeah.
Night of Thunder, 123. We've got a couple there at 123. So with the
where am I coming? I haven't used my joker yet. Where am I coming? If I use my joker, am I any chance of climbing the ladder?
Mate, you're under me.
Oh, I find that hard to believe.
Hang on. Where are you? No, I don't know, mate. I can't find you. Actually, to be fair, I got a bit of a...
You can't.
No, you're not. Mate, I honestly, I said, my eyes are average. We know that at best of time. Oh, no. You and me are tied for points.
All right. Okay, so what are the points? Where am I? How far behind am I?
30.
Tied for points.
You're 23 points behind.
So a perfect round and the joker, that puts me within 3 of the... Oh, mate, I'm moving with a chance.
Yeah, but if they've got to get 0 out of 8
That's okay. That's all right. You've got to find a positive. Look, as I say, I'm level with you. I haven't used me joker yet. And I'm level with you. That says all I need to say. All right, mate, Super Coach... he's floating around, mate. Buy, hold, and sell. Who's got to go?
Mate, there's obviously some more injuries and some players coming back. Obviously, Talis Duncan's back, which is very good. I'm in the plate final for a couple. I've still got a couple of trades up my sleeve. I'm potentially going. I may bring in Luke Metcalf against the Broncos.
Yeah. Okay.
As a bit of a left fielder, but mate, it's as I said, it's a very tricky point. It's all about who. It's not even about really a buy, hold, sell now. It's your own personal run home because everyone's got money. Nothing out is getting really important now. That's if you're in the contention for finals. That is. But mate, it's that's a good. I just saw a name. Someone's changed their name to Trell's Bulging Disc in our tipping comp.
Okay, very good.
I like that. But no, mate, I think it's a real tricky one. I think you got to get yourself set of some injured players and some players who are going to potentially not get rested in this back end.
Yeah, I've got to make a couple of tweaks in my side this week. I know I've got my flex player, which is young Stuart far longer, who is on a bye. So I've got to slip in somebody for him yet. I have to have a bit of a think about that one. All right, mate, it's punters pick time. You've had one win in the last 16 years or something. So come on. I know you've been thinking about this.
We got Dolph. We got the No, mate, we're going to hang on. I'll bring it up, mate. I actually, this will be all right. This year. So
You've got the Broncos in this, have you? No Broncos in this?
there is, mate. There is no Broncos at all here. So we're
Okay.
going, mate. We're going Dolphins, Sharks, Cowboys, and the Knights for about $80.
For about $80. All right. Okay. All right. Kind of works for me. Mate. Well, mate, we better go. We'll let you get yourself tucked in and get all dressed up.
I got to leave in 5 minutes, so I quickly get on the road and get flying.
Well, let's not keep you, mate. It's good night from him.
Good night from him.
Remember, it's hard to be humble when you come from
Queensland.